The United Kingdom has just offered fighter jets in the Russia-Ukraine war. Putin considers this the United Kingdom entering into World War III and says it will order retaliation and targeting of the United Kingdom. It's official. China was spying on the United States of America and even collected data over one of our military bases with nuclear weapons. Plus, Donald Trump releases a new pro-oil, pro-energy agenda, and people seem to be responding favorably to the idea of affordable energy. Thank you so much for liking these videos and sharing them with family and friends. Let's jump into today's news. By the way, at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how to enter the contest where my wife and I are giving away $10,000 in cash to people that watch us right here on YouTube. So stick with me to the very end. Well, Google suffered a major $100 billion stock valuation loss after it was proven that the new ChatGPT could return better search results. For the first time ever, Google has a real competitor to their search dominance. And Microsoft Corporation could become the next big shareholder of OpenAI. Plus, Disney has announced that their Disney Plus platform has reportedly lost over 2.4 million monthly subscribers as parents worry that Disney is becoming too woke and pushing adult-themed topics on young children's minds. The Hill has reported that insiders close to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis believe he's about to run for president. One insider stated, "I think his mind is pretty much made up at this point." Despite his state of mind, he's reportedly waiting a few more months before publicly announcing. A big factor behind his decision is momentum, which DeSantis has on his side right now. If he stands up to Trump in 2024, then he could win. If he doesn't, there's no guarantee that people will care about him in 2028. So he's going to have to make a decision on whether to go up against Donald Trump and whoever the Democrats put forward. While DeSantis may be popular now, ABC News host Alyssa Griffin, who worked for Trump, stated that she believes DeSantis is overhyped. She stated, "I've seen Trump take out every mini version of Trump over the last 5 years, and insults are ticking up. Trump recently shared a photo of what looked like a 23-year-old DeSantis partying with high school girls. DeSantis responded by stating, "I spend my time delivering results for the people of Florida and fighting against Joe Biden. I don't spend my time trying to smear other Republicans." So whatever the situation is, I think Griffin might be right. I do think DeSantis is considering running, but he also knows that he's going to have to combat Trump, who is very good at sucking all the air out of a room with his approach and his atypical way of going about being political. So I'll keep you on the loop on if he announces anytime soon. Now, the House has approved a resolution to condemn China for using a spy balloon in American airspace. The resolution is meant to act as a warning that will force China to back down if they ever attempt to enter our airspace again. Before the vote took place, Republican Representative Michael McCaul of Texas stated, "Our adversaries must believe that a future incursion into American airspace by a spy balloon or any other vehicle will be met with decisive force. And this is why the House should pass this resolution." The resolution ended up passing 419 yeses and 0 nos. So it seems everybody in Congress is against China spying on American citizens. Now, China has responded to the United States by claiming that its conclusion is simply information warfare against China. However, top Pentagon officials have maintained that the balloon is in fact part of China's spy program. Now, according to a new report out today, the balloon had equipment for collecting communication data against you and me. It also appears that the balloon at some point stalled over a military base in the state of Montana where the United States military houses nuclear silos. These are basically, there are nuclear weapons ready to be fired at any moment. And the Chinese balloon stalled over this. We don't know if it was taking photos or collecting data or spying through listening in to military personnel. So China was spying, according to new reports out. We just don't know what information they collected. And so they're going to try to extrapolate that data from the equipment they collected. But China says they want their equipment back. Ukrainian President Zelensky has arrived in Europe and has made his plea to European leaders. Zelensky stated, "A Ukraine that is winning is going to be a member of the European Union. The European Union that is winning." While America has taken a stand against providing Ukraine with fighter jets, EU Parliament President Roberta Metsola urged countries to go through with it. It seems fighter jets will be provided by European Union countries. As one of Zelensky's staff members stated, the question of long-range weaponry and fighter jets for Ukraine has been resolved. So Europe is ready to enter this war via proxy warfare by providing these fighter jets. Zelensky spoke in Parliament Hall to leaders of the United Kingdom in an attempt to get British fighter jets. Putin and the Kremlin have already warned the UK about entering into this war by supplying fighter jets. Of all the countries in Europe, Putin seems to have the most bad blood towards England. Now, the Kremlin said the UK will provoke retaliation from Russia and will prolong the war in Ukraine. They also said they will make things much more painful in Ukraine if these jets are handed over. So Russia is viewing this as England entering into a new world war should they supply these fighter jets. And they say that it will provoke retaliation. Now, I'm hoping by provoke retaliation, Russia means on the jets and not actually on the city of London. But Putin warned Boris Johnson early in the war that he could take out London within minutes by just firing one hypersonic missile. So I'm not really sure where they're going with this. I don't want to look into it too much or speculate too much, but it's hard not to when somebody says that they're going to retaliate. Is that on the weapon? Is that on the equipment? Is that on your city? I don't really know. We do know that Putin has ordered the Russian Federation Army to target and annihilate the new incoming tanks. So it is likely that he will order retaliation and targeting of the fighter jets and not necessarily England or the United Kingdom. So again, I'm not really sure, but it's pretty scary stuff, to be honest. Now, Zelensky seems to be barnstorming Europe for money and weapons as he believes the big offensive attacks against Ukraine from Putin are in the future and not in the past. The bigger conflict and attacks are still to come. And so that's why he's working so hard. Now, to give context, Russia has 1,800 tanks, over 400 fighter jets, and over 300 helicopters, not to mention 3,950 armed vehicles. So Zelensky, although he's doing a good job of getting military equipment from Europe and the United States, it pales in comparison to what Russia already has. And they have factories right now working 24 hours a day to create new military equipment, ammunition, and these terrible, terrible weapons. Now, if you missed my interview with retired Colonel Douglas Macgregor, please go watch it. He talks about how little the United States and NATO care about Ukraine and how they will sacrifice Ukraine in an attempt to hurt or replace Vladimir Putin. So this is an ugly game of chess that Ukraine has been dragged into. Sadly, Democrat Senator John Fetterman, who beat Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania, has been hospitalized. He had a stroke last year, which nearly cost him his life, but he decided to continue in politics and ended up winning. He has now been hospitalized with something going on with his brain. And so anyway, if there's more of an update on that, I'll let you know. Donald Trump has touted new plans to revive the energy industry should he win as president in 2025. He stated, "I will deploy a team of warrior lawyers to hunt down every unnecessary regulation in the Federal Registry that hampers domestic production, and we will wipe them off the books. Trump argued that we have liquid gold right under our feet, and it should be used to our advantage to make our country safe and wealthy again. So he's basically saying, I am going to prop up big oil, and I'm going to make production easier, and I'm going to bring down the cost of all forms of energy. So while Biden seeks to get America off cheap gas and oil, Trump is taking the opposite tone, saying that he will push to strengthen the country, workforce, national security, and make energy cheaper for Americans. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo took an opportunity to publicly blast President Biden for his open border policy. And yes, the border is open, according to Andrew Cuomo. And he says that the president has leaned too heavily on the kindness of New Yorkers and has now filled their streets and their homeless shelters with illegal immigrants. So he's not happy and says Biden needs to take action now. French farmers plan to crowd the streets of Paris with tractors as the government continues to try to destroy small farmers and the ability to raise livestock. What do they think people are going to eat? Grass? By getting rid of these farmers, these chicken farmers, these cattle raisers, goat raisers. It's absolutely insane. All right, the other thing that's insane is Casey and I are going to give away $10,000 in cash to winners right here in my YouTube community that watch me. I'm going to leave a link down below with all the details. It only takes about 10 seconds to go over and get registered to be one of the winners, and we'll pick the winners at the end of the month. Now, before you go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. Please make sure to check out this super important video and get subscribed to the channel. There's a lot of places to get your news today, so I appreciate you stopping by today, and I'll see you on the next video.